Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another episode of Raid Shadow Legends. Today in this video, folks, I just thought I might as well record some clan boss battles. I did get several keys or an extra key from the downtime maintenance. Server seems to be down quite often here with Raid Shadow Legends, and they do give stuff out for that. I mean, I've experienced some issues, but not too many. Anyways, I'm happy with the clan boss key. Might as well use them up, because as long as I have a full set of keys, I'm not generating new keys. And obviously, I want to take advantage of this sometimes. I do get some good stuff out of this. So, that's what I'm planning on doing today for this video. Now, I kind of started recording after I entered the clan boss battle. It was just right at the beginning, so I didn't quite get that beginning bit, but it doesn't make a difference. I mean, you guys can see what's happening. The other thing I was gonna say is that there's this Plarium content creator program that I'm trying to get into. Hopefully I'll be successful with that. The idea behind it is I create content for Raid Shadow Legends, and I think I qualify for the tier 3 from the viewer perspective and the subscriber perspective, which would mean that I'd get 900 gems a week and 5-star chickens and I think 3 epic tomes, something like that, which would definitely help my game out, and I could probably put out more content. But I generally roughly tend to make around 2 to 3 videos a week. The whole catch with that is I'd have to make with certainty 3 videos a week. So that is a thought that's crossed my mind. I am currently trying to speak with the appropriate people. I have sent a message to them on Discord. Now it's a matter of waiting it out and see if and when they respond. But that would definitely be useful. I mean, the 900 gems a week, that's a lot of gems. Obviously, I also purchase my own gems, and I don't always use them, so that, you know, could stockpile quite easily, and it would definitely help me with making more shard opening videos as I save them up. As I said, I do also spend some money on the game, and so with what I get, with what they give me, I could definitely make more content for the game. At the moment, I am saving up my ancient shards. I'm going to try and build a nice stockpile. I've got plenty of champions to level up and rank up, so I'm just going to focus on that for the time being. There is an offer on the marketplace that I want to get, but I'm going to get it at the end of the month because it's a 2-3 week running offer, and it gives some ancient shards and some sacred shards. So I definitely want to get my hands on some sacred shards. I think they would definitely be helpful. So currently speaking, I've got 3 keys, one of which I am using now, and normally I tend to hit the first 3 bosses. I tend to kind of aim for the top tier chest available if I can on all 3 bosses, and that's pretty much it. Worst case scenario, the clan boss doesn't go down and I get 1 chest. Best case scenario, the clan boss goes down, and then I get 2 chests, which gives me double the chances of getting something good out of it. So that's the way I look at it. Once I get to a point where I'm going to be able to solo the easy clan boss, I'm probably going to move up a couple of notches. There's no point in doing that by myself. I'm going to take that advantage away from other clan members. But at the moment, I can pretty much half health his, or take half of his health bar away. Do bear in mind that, as you can see here, 3 of the champions that I'm using are only level 50. So Kalia and Tomb Lord and Gorgorab are only level 50. Gorgorab has all of the masteries done, but cannot unlock the last one simply because he's not a 6-star champion yet. So once he unlocks that, I'll sort that sort of thing out. I do need to do Tomb Lord's Mastery, so that's the next one that I'll focus on. I'm going to leave Kalia for last because I might potentially get, or hopefully get, a better HP burn champion for the clan boss. That is what I would like to get my hands on. Now, with that said and in mind, what I would like to get my hands on would be Ignatius, to be fairly honest. So that is a legendary champion. I do like the fact that most of his attacks and abilities, or I think all of his abilities, have an HP burn on it. So I think that would be very useful in a clan boss, and he could keep the HP burn up all the time, which would make a massive difference. And so that's what I'm hoping to get my hands on. Therefore, I'm going to focus on Tomb Lord at this point in time and have my fingers crossed and hope that I get my hands on Ignatius. I'd really like to have Ignatius. I think he would be a massive addition to the clan boss team, and I might potentially even try to build a very strong defensive team against the dragon and all that sort of stuff, and use HP burn as a way of taking down the dragon. I'm almost at Dragon 20 as is. I'm currently at Dragon 17, so only 3 more to go. And again, the dragon team that I have does consist of a lot of level 50 5-star champions. So obviously I've got Tomb Lord in there, which is level 50 5-star. Once he's at 60, that should make a significant difference, as does Gorgrab, and I do take Gorgrab in the dragon team. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at currently speaking. Once I can get to Dragon 20 and do that consistently, I'll then farm the heck out of that to upgrade my gear from the 5-star gear that I'm currently running on these guys to 6-star, and that should unlock the spider for me as well. By then I should be looking at creating a team that can do the spider mighty quick. I do have some cold hearts, and I do also, or I should hopefully have rosin, which, you know, they all have a bit of a turn meter reduction on them, which should make a massive difference. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm kind of going for. Now, things do take time in this game, and also, if I do sound somewhat different today, that is because I have come down with a very nasty cold. So I'm sometimes holding back from sneezing and coughing, which is a bit of a pain, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna have to wait for it to take its course, and eventually I'll get better, and hopefully my voice will get better. It does feel a bit croaky from my perspective. I don't know what the microphone will pick up. Hopefully it doesn't pick up too much of a change in my voice. So that's that. Also, this is a bit funny from my perspective, right? But there seems to be a bit of drama going on in the raid community. Something to do with a Dracomorph being given to a Raid Shadow Legends player that's also a streamer, potentially YouTuber. I'm not quite sure where that goes with that, but or how far that goes. But apparently he crunched his Dracomorph. He spent I don't know how much money on trying to get a Dracomorph when the Dracomorph had like a 10 times drop but didn't get one, then had a rant and a rage, and he got that now. That seems to have ruffled up some feathers. From my perspective, it's funny. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily fair that Polarium has done that. There seems to be quite a few poor excuses for the reason they did that. They said it was a thing because he completed the Crypt factions or the Champion faction wars, and they gave him that as a reward and stuff like that. But what I find funny in this whole situation is how the other big YouTubers are now having a bit of a rant, and like Darth Microtransaction crunched one of his legendary champions. I haven't followed or haven't been up to date with the other YouTubers, but they were saying they're going to do stuff like that. It's just like, what are you trying to achieve with it? I know you're peed off with the situation, and that is what it is. And to be fairly honest, this is a costly game. It's not necessarily a game for people that want to play it for free. There is a cost element to it. It is a bit of a gambling game, and generally certain companies, developers, and I'm by this referring to Polarium, do have their preferences in terms of who they like, so they're gonna give advantages, I guess. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The game has its issues. I think that once you get into the whale category, the prices of things tend to increase. I don't know why that is a thing that the game developers and Polarium have chosen to do. I think if things were a bit cheaper or at the same price, or the offers better. See, the thing is, once you get into the whale category, you don't necessarily get better deals, but things do cost more, which is a bit annoying. Now, the game has its addictive side in that it's a game where you collect things. It's a game where you have to spend money to collect things. It's got a good generic idea in terms of strategy and how you can diversify the strategy, but I think certain things are a bit unfair in terms of like deals, let's call them that for lack of better terms, are not necessarily good deals. I'm now trying to decide which clan boss to go for. I do want to try and make the best of my keys. This one's a bit of a tough one. I can go for normal, and I do more damage there. But I have a feeling that the normal clan boss will go down. I could go for the hard one. So the question is, alright, so that bring me up to 10 million damage, roughly speaking. So if I can, yeah, I think I'm going to go for the hard one. I think I have more to gain from the hard one if I am to do this. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, so going back to the subject, like, I think some of the deals are bad, and I think they could work on that, and maybe, you know, probably focus on adding new content. That'd be nice. Now, some of the content is kind of exclusive, like the faction wars. You have to have certain champions to actually be able to get to the end of it. I do play around with the faction wars a bit just to get some of the tomes, but some of the glyphs, but it's not necessarily something I'm that interested in. They could, I don't know, like some of the rewards need to be worked on and stuff like that, but that's, I'm still new to the game. I'm still getting my head around it, enjoying it, don't get me wrong. It's expensive. It's a very expensive game. I look at it as an investment. I like the game. Some people like to watch the videos. If I could, I would definitely stream it. Not just this, I'd definitely mix it up with Ark and Conan Exiles. And for those that have asked for Ark and Conan Exiles, actually particularly Conan Exiles content, to be fairly honest, I have deleted my server for Conan Exiles. I couldn't justify having the Conan Exile servers. I don't really spend that much time on it nowadays. And some people have asked me to do guides for damage on champions. Now the problem is it wouldn't be very consistent anymore, and I haven't actually figured out a way to do it with the changes to the thrall system, and that the thralls get different perks and it's quite random what they get and how they level up. It wouldn't be consistent, so not really something I can do with that anymore due to the changes. But I will continue to cover new content for Conan Exiles, as I will with Ark Survival Evolved. Now some people have made some comments with some of my recent guides for Ark Survival Evolved, and that was one with a parasaur where I do a guide for how to tame a parasaur. It's not actually a troll. As I said, and I've said quite a few times in previous videos, I will cover every single creature in Ark with regards to taming them. That is what I'm trying to do. It's a full series with all of the creatures in the game, no matter how hard or easy they are to tame. Recently, as you've seen on the channel, I have gone into the water biome now. I'm doing this because obviously with Genesis just around the corner, the water biome, I have a feeling, will become more important. So I want to get ahead of that. Certain things have changed since the original guides on YouTube were put out, and obviously the kibble system has changed, so I want to cover that as well. And I want to get to the point where we can tame, or I can show you how to tame a Tuso, a Plesiosaur, and of course the Mosasaurus, which are quite important to have. And obviously the Tuso is the cherry on top because it's not affected by the jellyfish and the eels. I am also going to show you how to tame the eels. They can be quite tricky to do, but I do want to cover that. I think the eels are pretty darn cool once tamed, and so I do want to cover that as well. I'm going to do the anglerfish. Everything that can be tamed in the water, I will show you how to do it. So I'm going to take a break from the land creatures. I think, if I remember correctly, Genesis is meant to be released somewhere around the 25th of this month. So that would be the 25th of January 2020. As of this video, things may change. Now, I did take time off work so that I am able to cover that content. Hopefully I'm not disappointed. Hopefully this is third time lucky and they actually release it at that time. Now, apparently there are rumors that Genesis will be released across all three platforms. So that would be the PC, the console, so that would be PlayStation and Xbox. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, to be fairly honest, Studio Wildcard isn't the most reliable of developers. When they say they're going to release something, they don't always release it at the time they say they do. But here's the thing, right? I mean, I've played Conan Exiles, I've played quite a few games in general, but I'm going to say Conan Exiles, I'm going to say Ark Survival Evolved, and this is one of the things that was actually brought up in those rants, the inconsistency, the promises from Polarium, right, going back to Polarium right now, for content and stuff like that, but not actually delivering on it, and then delivering patches that fixes problems in the past. All of these companies that I've mentioned tend to do the exact same thing. It's quite difficult, and I understand from the company's perspective, it's very difficult to sometimes gauge a fix if it's going to work. People do find ways around it. You're not just dealing with a machine. You're going to find, you're going to work with people, or you're making content for people that have a way of thinking outside the box, and you fix something in one end and something else breaks, and probably the fix that they put out is not necessarily a good fix. And to me, this is quite hilarious. It's just, that's always been a thing. It's always been a thing. Even with World of Warcraft, they fixed something and broke something on the other end. It's just the way. It's one of those things with online games. That's what it is. Or some fixes are not up to the standards of the community. It's just what it is. I mean, personally speaking, I see why Polarium gave that player Dracomorph, and I guess he was going to get a lot of people to stop paying for stuff in the game, and I guess he had a lot of pull power, so they didn't want that to happen because they make an absolute fortune off this game, and so that means a lot to them. A Dracomorph is something that they don't necessarily lose on. It's just a piece of coding that they're giving him. That's it. A piece of coding for which others pay a lot of money, which is unfair, but they have to kind of minimize their losses. And I think that's what they did. And I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here because I can understand why they did it. I don't think it's right. But then, I suppose, who am I to judge? I'm just a small YouTube content creator. That's a company. Polarium is a company out to make money. So it all comes down to money. It's what it is. And I kind of understand that, although I don't necessarily agree with it. But it's fun to watch all the drama unfold. I'm not going to join in because I don't win or lose anything. It's just good entertainment from my perspective, at least, is what I wanted to say. I am sort of butchering my words. Maybe not necessarily true, but I'm going to blame my cold for that reason. At the moment, I've managed quite well not to sneeze for quite a long time and not to cough, so that's a big achievement for myself. But yeah, so that's where things are at. I mean, generally with the Raid Shadow Legends series, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and play the game, but also add in some information about where the channel's going, things I'm working on, kind of feedback to you guys. So this is going to serve a dual purpose. It's going to be both a gameplay sort of thing, or let's play series, as well as have some mixed information in there about things about the channel, thoughts that I have about certain events, and like, for example, discussing the whole drama around that Draco morph, which I personally find hilarious, and how much drama that has caused. And I think most of the drama is probably caused due to Polarium trying to create an excuse, if you will, for it, which is funny. It's funny. It's just silly at the same time and funny. So, but yeah, and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I plan for this series. It's going to be a very light-hearted series. I'm not going to take much of anything very serious, to be fairly honest. I plan to enjoy the game. Oh, there's a law. Okay, so they have a high resistance. That means I'm not going to hit most of my debuffs, which is kind of sucky on these guys. I'll give that another go. But that's the idea. I mean, hopefully you guys enjoy this stuff. And I do realize that Raid Shadow Legends is repetitive. You pretty much do the same thing over and over again. This is what the game is. And some people might get bored of me doing the same thing over and over again. But that's how you build up your power, your champions, your teams. And to be fairly honest, I personally enjoy it. So I want to mix it up a bit and play a game that I enjoy. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike playing Ark or Conan Exiles, but with Ark and Conan Exiles, for the purposes of guides, if I need to, I can spawn stuff in. With this, I have to earn it. I have nothing with that, if that makes sense. I have to be consistent. I have to earn it. I have to do the dailies for all those bonuses and stuff like that. So there's a bit of a difference there compared to the other games. I don't have so much control over what I'm showing. It's what the game gives me, if that makes sense. So I suppose that has me captivated. And as I said a while back, I did initially consider going back to WoW for the purposes of finding a good strategic game to play that I enjoy. I kind of missed a strategy-based game, but then I came across Raid Shadow Legends, which I absolutely enjoy still. So this has been I've been playing this game for 4 months now, and I still enjoy it as much as I did the first time I picked it up. Things are a bit more complicated. Things tend to get more expensive as you progress later in the game, but I'm fine with that. And I mean, it's quite easy to fall into a massive spending spree on it. I've not fallen into it, to be fairly honest. I've managed to hold back. So I've still spent some money, yes, but I've not gone crazy. I've not spent thousands of dollars or pounds in, or put thousands of dollars and pounds into the game. Some people do that, and that's fine. They're content creators. Some people do that, and they're not content creators. It's their money. What they choose to do with it is really up to them. I mean, I just can't justify for myself personally spending that much of a ridiculous amount into the game. If you can spend that much money into the game, why not get a new car? Just saying, you know. But that's just the way I look at it. Alright, so with the dailies now being unlocked, I'm going to try and sort of make my way through some of the dailies. I'm not going to do all the daily quests on camera. The main focus was to do the clan boss battles and just kind of have a chat with you guys and stuff like that. I'm going to try and keep it under 30 minutes, the video. That is what I'm aiming for the Let's Play series for Raid Shadow Legends. Anything longer than that, I think, does tend to get somewhat boring. I mean, a video of me playing the game is not the same as me streaming the game. There's not really much interaction between me and you, the community. So yeah, this is something I need to look at. There's a ancient shard right there, which I could try and do it. I've not actually paid attention to these, to be fairly honest, to the events. I don't know if I have enough time to actually do that, given the remaining time on it. And I think I'm going to try and go for the artifact enhancement one, though. I know there's a void shard at the end of it, and I kind of want to get my hands on it, to be fairly honest. Upgrade a champion to rank 4. Right, so that's what I'm going to be doing in the next video. I'm going to be doing some more leveling up off camera, and then in the next video I'm going to do some leveling up and ranking up some of my champions and stuff like that. There's still quite a lot of champions that I can, of course, level up, so I'm going to be working on that off camera. And with that being said and done, I'm going to end the episode here, so join me in the next one if you have enjoyed this one. And if you have, please don't forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.